Most talked about trials in recent memory. A former Mobile County Commissioner accused of shooting his girlfriend to death.
Tonight, that trial is finally underway. Jury selection in the Steve Nodine case has been going on all day.
Our team coverage in the Nodine case starts with our Chastity Bird.
Hey guys, this is the day that many have been waiting on, including the former Mobile County Commissioner himself, who since day one wanted his day in court. The day started off with 61 potential jurors, but was quickly cut in half by lunchtime. The goal, to seat an impartial jury. Defense attorney Dennis Knisley talked to me today about seating a jury in such a high-profile case. Since Mother's Day, the names of Angel Downs and Stephen Nodine have made headlines.
Obviously, y'all have done quite a job of putting it in the media over the last 6 months, and a lot of things have come out, but now is the time we get to the facts and see what's really happened in the case.
But before those details come out, a jury has to be seated. Both the defense and the prosecution want a fair jury, and today potential jurors were questioned by each side. One question asked, "Have any of you heard of this case?" Only one person said no.
Usually you have, even in high-profile cases, 2, 3, 4 people that haven't heard anything. So, yeah, it's a little bit unusual.
4 people are so... But even though so many have heard something about this case, Knisley still believes a jury can be seated.
I think this jury will follow the judge's instructions, and they will put aside everything they've seen in the media, and they will decide the case on the facts in the courtroom.
The potential jurors were questioned as a group and individually. Jury selection will continue tomorrow, when a jury is expected to be seated. One of the very first questions Judge Charles Pardon asked the potential jurors was about their time. He told the potential jurors that they should be expected to spend at least 2 weeks on this case. Now, I told you the jurors spent a lot of time being questioned, hours in fact, and some very interesting questions came out. I'm joined now by my colleague April Douglas. And April, we heard a lot of this question, including questions about prescription drugs.
Okay, the jurors were questioned for several hours, and one of them was about prescription drugs. They were also, as Chastity mentioned, questioned about pretrial publicity. But the defense, however, spent the majority of time on the issue of suicide, asking jurors. There was no questionnaire in this to pick a jury, but they asked the jurors specifically about suicide. Have they ever known anyone to commit suicide or attempt suicide, or have they themselves attempted suicide? Now, a number of jurors, at least 9, had some involvement known in the gun violence or had been injured by a gun. Jurors were polled on how many of them have issued a company vehicle, either by a county, the state, or a private company. They were also asked about personal use of that vehicle, because the state says Nodine used his public office and vehicle for private gain. Now, both the district attorney's office and the defense asked if any of the jurors have ever held public office or known someone who has. Jurors were also asked about their marital status, whether they're divorced or married, and if they have any children between the ages of 10 and 15 still living at home, since Steve Nodine does have a 14-year-old son. Now, another question asked of jurors was whether any of them have ever been stalked or harassed, or have any of them ever been charged with stalking or harassing. And as you heard Chastity say, we still do not have a jury in this case. They're hoping to pick 16. It will continue tomorrow morning. Reporting live from Baldwin County, April Douglas, Fox 10 News.